Why is that?
Is it? Oh, way loud. I think it's recording. We'll see. Yep, it is.
Did you do the editing last night?
I did do the editing last night, and it was a good thing. Okay. Take the hemisphere off the top. I heard some people whispering. The key was, if you look down at the bottom, that's a square. So half of that would be 9. If you transfer that up here, it makes it think like, well, I know what this is, but I don't know how to figure out what the height is. We just rotate that around. The height of that semicircle, regardless of which direction we go, the radius would be 9. So if I take that off and find the hemisphere, it's going to be half of 4/3 pi r cubed. And then I can just take the 40 and subtract the 9, and that's going to be 31. And then I can just throw that in there all together. I typed it in all just as one expression and got the 9415.35. 9415.35 with the meters cubed on there. Any questions?
No.
Okay, nice, fun, interesting, challenging problem. Okay, here's what we're going to do on today's notes. There's a bunch of good stuff given to us. We're not worried about you finding the areas of things, because hopefully you know all the formulas, the volumes of things, because hopefully you know all the formulas. I mean, you do know the formulas, right?
Area.
Got those locked away? So we've got an original drawing, and then we've got a dilated drawing. It's either going to get bigger or smaller, because remember, a dilation, another name for that would be a stretch or a shrink. And all we want to do is we just want to figure out the scale factor for the original length and the original area compared to the dilated one. So if we're talking lengths, I'm going to take this length of 3 and this length of 6, and we're going to do the dilated length. So that's the second one divided by the original one. You may have heard in 7th grade when we start doing dilations, we talk about new over old, and we do the same thing in 8th grade, do the same thing in 9th grade. So if I do the new one, which is 6, over the old one, which is 3, I end up with a 2. If I do the same thing with the areas, I need to take the new area, divide by the old area. So this is going to be 18 divided by 4.5. We end up with 4. Okay, now, do not say anything out loud. We just kind of want to look at this and figure out what's going on. For this next one, we're going to take the lengths, the ratio of the lengths. So it's the dilated length. That's the new one divided by the old one. So that's going to be 2 divided by 6. We end up with 1/3. Please don't say anything out loud. We're going to take the new area and divide by the old area. So we're going to have 4 pi here divided by 36 pi. The pi's, of course, are going to cancel, and we're going to end up with 1/9. Don't say anything. Do you notice anything? We figured out a scale factor. That's something we've done for a long time. Then we figure out what impact does the scale factor have on the area. Got 2 here, got 4 here, got 1/3 here, got 1/9 here. Anybody want to raise their hand and describe what they think is going on? Okay, Lizzie, I think you had your hand up first.
It squares the length and that. If you square the length, then you get the area.
Okay, so if you take this length scale factor and you square it, then you get the area scale factor. Is that what you're saying? Okay, so you're right about that. Whatever this is a linear scale factor. It just changes it in one dimension. But when we do the same thing with the area, we've changed it in both directions by a factor of 2. So by a factor of 2 this direction, by a factor of 2 in the other direction, that's multiplying the area by a factor of 4. So yes, we square it. Same thing, if we shrink it by a factor of 1/3 in one direction, that would only shrink it by 1/3. But we're shrinking it by 1/3 in this direction and in this direction. We're shrinking it by 1/3 in 2 dimensions. So that's going to make it 1/3 squared. So that's going to be 1/9. So if a figure is dilated by a scale factor of k, its area is k squared. Very good. K squared. Okay. So if a scale factor affects an area of a 2-dimensional figure in that manner described above, namely it multiplies the area by k squared, how do you suppose the scale factor affects the three-dimensional volume of a figure? This is where we don't say anything, we let everybody think. So if we multiply the measurements, the linear measurements by a scale factor of k, it changes the area by a scale factor of k squared. This is asking, what do you think would happen if we did that with a volume? Mason, did you have your hand up? What do you think it is?
It'll cube it.
Think it's going to be cubed? So can you say that in our language right here? What's the scale factor for the volume going to be? K cubed. Okay, so let's flip it over. So we got a quick example here. We're going to do the same thing. Again, we're going to take the new measurement, divide by the old measurement. So this is a length, one-dimensional length. This is a volume. So we're going to take the new length, and I'm going to pick an easy one to do, 6, and divide it by the corresponding old length. So if I do 6 divided by 3, I end up with 2. Mason, according to your prediction, what should this answer be over here?
8.
Should be 8. Let's check and see if it is. We're going to take the new volume, which is 60, divide it by the old volume, which is 7.5. And if you throw that into your calculator, if you divide 60 by 7.5, do you get 8?
Yes.
Okay. So last one, and then we'll take a look at the type of problem that you're going to be doing on the assignment, I think. Either one of them would work well here. I'm going to do the 3 over 12. Again, it's new over old because it's getting smaller. We should get a fraction here. So this should be 1/4. If we're right, this should turn out to be, let's see, 1/4 cubed. Cube the top, cube the bottom. Should end up being 1/64, right? So we're going to take the new one, which is 12 pi, divided by the old one, which is 768 pi. And we're going to throw that into our calculator and rely on that to change that into a 64th. Decimal-wise, it's at 0.0156. Okay. Is that 1/64th?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So, Mason, are you right?
Probably.
What goes right here then? K cubed.
K3.
So a scale factor of k multiplies lengths by k. A scale factor of k multiplies areas by k squared. And a scale factor of k multiplies volumes by k cubed. So what if we did have something that we could think of or draw in 4 dimensions or 5 dimensions? K to the 4th, k to the 5th, all that sort of stuff. Okay, so take a look at the bottom of the page. It says, what do you think happens if we use different scales? Oh, we got that one. Okay, so it says solve. If a cylinder has a radius of 4 inches and a height of 10 inches, how will the volume compare to a cylinder of the same radius but double the height? Same radius, double the height. What's going to happen? Yeah. It's going to double the volume, okay? So 2 times the old volume. Somebody made kind of a visual argument like this before. If you took a can and just doubled the height, that's going to double the volume, right?
Like
Stacking 2 cans on top of each other, okay? If a cylinder has a volume of, if a cylinder has a radius of 4 and a height of 10 inches, how will the volume compare when the same height, with the same height but double the radius? So this time we're doubling the radius. What happens to the volume?
4 times.
Oh.
Wilson, you want to raise your hand? Wilson?
4 times as big.
4 times as big. Can you tell us why?
No, I just remember that it's 4 times as. It's because.
I know.
It's because if you.
Somebody want to take a stab at explaining? It is 4.
Times it by 2 again.
Okay, so here's what happens. We're making it twice as wide, okay, going this way, and we're making it twice as wide in the other direction. We're making it twice as wide in 2 directions, okay? So it's going to multiply the volume by 4. It's going to quadruple the volume by 4, okay? Last one. The width of a garage is quadrupled, while the length is tripled, and the height is doubled. Do not say anything out loud. You got these plans for a garage. Somebody's not happy with it, so we want to say we're going to quadruple the width. We don't want a 2-car, we want an 8-car wide garage. We don't want it standard depth, we want it 3 times as deep. And we don't want standard height, we want double the height.
It's a whole house, not a garage. Feel free to-
I drove by one the other day, I think it might have been that big. Okay, can somebody tell us what it's going to do to the old volume? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wait, what's the question?
What's it going to do to the old volume?
Oh,
What do you got?
it's gonna times it by 24.
It's going to times it by 24 because we did 4 times one dimension, 3 times the other dimension, and 2 times that last dimension. So it's going to be 24 times the volume. Okay, scale factor is going to be 24. Okay, everybody good? Because we're going to make it. We're going to make it times it by 6 in this direction. We're going to times it by, times it by 4 in this direction.
Okay. Yeah,
Times it
that's
by
easy.
3 in this direction, and then times it by 2 in that direction.
I actually wish I had a garage.
That would be pretty
What
cool.
would you put in there?
A golf
Swimming
simulator.